Hey guys, it's been a while since my last update video. Actually, looking back at it now, it's been about a year, so an update video is definitely overdue. I'll try to keep it relatively short, but you never really know with this kind of thing. Anyway, a lot of things have changed on the channel since the last time we spoke, and a lot has changed in my life as well. Some of you may already know that I moved out of my house a few months ago, so it's been a pretty hectic period of time just adjusting to that new lifestyle and packing things and unpacking things. There were so many just basic household things that we needed and didn't have. Like, we didn't have a fridge for, I think it was 2 weeks we didn't have a fridge. I remember we used to have to cut the block of cheese with like a butter knife because we didn't have a proper knife for a while. Anyway, this was back in like March and April, so we're pretty much settled in now. We've got everything we need, but yeah, it was a pretty busy time back then. And as far as the channel is concerned, moving out has had a pretty big impact on that as well. Obviously, I couldn't upload videos while we were actually moving and while the internet was being set up, but unfortunately, in the area that I live now, even though it's very close to where I used to live, the internet is very poor. I'll say that. Currently, I have a download speed of around 15 Mbps and an upload speed of about 0.9. So to understand what that's like, if I was to download a standard HD movie, like 720p, it would probably take me about 10 minutes, which is okay. I can live with that. I can still play online games, watch Netflix and all that stuff. The problem comes with YouTube videos and Twitch streaming as well. A standard 20-minute gameplay video now takes me over 5 hours to upload. If I compress the file, which I have to do now, it still takes over an hour. And it basically makes the internet unusable for that time. Like, you can't even use Facebook, you can't even load the Facebook page. But even then, I can still live with that. I normally upload when I go to work or when I'm not using the internet anyway. But live streaming on Twitch is just not possible now. You need at least 3 times the upload speed I have just to stream in okay 720p, like not even full HD. So I haven't been able to stream in 4 months now, which is a real shame because now I actually have the time and no one to bother me. I'm hoping to be able to get better internet sometime next year. I think they were planning on extending the national broadband to my area in 2019, so that will fix things, but it's still a little bit of a wait until then. In other news, I just wanted to talk a bit about the really weird and sporadic video schedule lately. As of uploading this video, it's already been 4 days since my last video, which is actually the longest I've gone without uploading since August 2016. And most of that time I've uploaded daily. So to you guys, it probably looks like I've just fallen off completely. And honestly, that's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video. To be completely honest, I just haven't really had a game to play for the channel in a while. Like a game for a proper series. For the longest time on the channel, I've always had a main series. And that would be like DST or Shipwrecked. And then I would have a B series, like a secondary game that I would upload every other day, like Oxygen not included. But then when Speedy and I had enough of DST, I mean, we had played 100 hours or something at that point for that series, and my Don't Starve game kind of died from bugs and other problems. In fact, I had 2 Don't Starve series that got killed by bugs and things like that. So I was kind of left with my secondary games for a while. And I tried a bunch of different games in the last few months. I tried Surviving Mars, Into the Breach, Frostpunk, Astroneer, Machiavellian. I went back to Oxygen, but none of those games really had the same appeal. as Don't Starve did. And they're all great games. Well, most of them anyway. I'm looking at you, Surviving Mars. No, it was okay. And I know it's really easy to judge a video's success based on how many views it gets, but believe me when I say that views don't really motivate me to play a game that I don't want to play, and they don't persuade me to stop playing a game that I do want to play. My old DST videos used to get like 10 views, so you can believe me when I say that views aren't everything. But often when I notice that you guys aren't really getting into a particular game, it probably correlates with me not really getting into it either. And I've been trying to find games to play all the time, like I'm always looking in, and I'm always open to suggestions. If you guys have any, leave them in the comments and I'll take a look. But also one thing to keep in mind, there are a lot of games that I've found and games that I'm keen on playing, and I'm sure will be fantastic games, but might not make for a very interesting series. So I always have to keep that in mind when I look at new games to play. For example, I've been playing Project Zomboid a fair bit with Speedy recently, which is a survival crafting game. It's a very fun game to play, but honestly I think it would be boring to watch. There's a lot of downtime. We're basically learning how to do everything from scratch. If we were both experts at the game, then maybe it would be interesting, but that would take us another 30-40 hours of playing to get to that level, at least 30-40 hours, probably more like 60-70 hours. And there are a fair amount of games in that kind of category that would be fun to play, but you probably don't want to watch someone learn to play a game. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always found that kind of content annoying. Unless the game is like brand new, then you can't really help that, but I don't know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't really have a game to make videos on, like a main game to make videos on right at the moment. I will be playing the new Shipwrecked mod for DST with Speedy once it's finished, so that should come soon, and hopefully that won't be long anyway. And that series I imagine will take over as the main one for a while. But until then, I have a few ideas for different kinds of videos. I made a guide video for Shipwrecked a while back that you guys seem to enjoy, and an analysis video even longer back that seemed to be well received as well. So I'm thinking of some new things to do along that line. And this is probably a good a time as any to also thank you guys for sticking with the channel through these interesting times. Even though I've made less videos this month than any month in the last 2 years, most of my stats are still up on the last few months, so you guys have been unbelievably supportive. I cannot thank you enough. And especially to all my Patreon supporters, thank you very much for your continuous generous contributions. I'm planning on just removing all the tiers on my Patreon page and giving everyone the same benefits regardless of whether you donate $1 or $100 a month. I don't really like the idea of having bonuses for giving me more money. It just feels kind of wrong. I don't want you guys to think that you're a better person or a bigger fan if you give me more money, or even if you give me no money at all. So feel free to support the channel in whatever means you're comfortable with, whether that be a $1 donation or subscribing or just watching the videos. I really appreciate you being here. Alrighty, I think I've just about covered everything I wanted to say. I normally think of one or two other things while I'm editing. I really should do these videos more often, I think. Not like a year apart anyway. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.